Welcome everybody. I just saw Toxic Avenger last night, and I need to get some thoughts out of my head about this. It is currently like 7:30 a.m. and I'm getting ready to go to work. Uh, Toxic Avenger 2025 is such a weird movie, and I kind of knew it was going to be a weird movie going into it. First thought is I saw it was an unrated movie. I thought it was going to be gorier. It's not really that gory. The humor is crude in it. Peter Dinklage and Kevin Bacon and Elijah Wood being in this movie is bananas, especially Peter Dinklage being the Toxic Avenger. And it's kind of weird because, like, at the beginning of the movie, it almost seems like they're trying to make it like a very emotional drama. And then they just like toss that shit and just throw it up in the air. And they're like, nah, we're not. This definitely is more of a dark comedy than anything else with horror elements. I thought Peter Dinklage playing Winston Goose was interesting as a stepfather who is taking care of his stepson and whose name's Winston, and he apparently loves to dance. There were so many like little things, and this is one movie like you have to weirdly pay attention to everything because there's all these sight gags. Like weirdly, they have a thing in this about a restaurant that rebranded that used to be called Mr. Meat, and now it's called Miss Meats. And there's a news broadcast where the people are arguing about its rebranding, and there is a hostage crisis going on in it, and it's about the rebranding. And like, there's these little posters all over that restaurant, and they all have like little sight gags or crude. I actually got to see someone get their pants pulled down and their rectum pulled out their ass. So something to look forward to when you go see it. I thought everything was like Elijah Wood is basically playing the Penguin in this. It's a very weird role, and he's the manager for, I believe they called it a horror core band, but they're weirdly like Limp Bizkit with a little bit of Slipknot. They also have a dancer hype man who also does parkour, and he's dressed as Zodiac Killer. I think he's my favorite character in this whole movie. And like weirdly, like he'll like jump into the scene and just start doing flips randomly. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I think he is my favorite character because it was just so fucking random. And every time he went on stage on screen, he was doing flips and like sliding across the floor. Kevin Bacon was playing So Arch. I I feel like he could have been in a Dick Tracy movie, but he's just such a weird character, and it was interesting seeing him play this. And he is he's basically the big bad of the movie, and Elijah Wood is his brother Fritz. There's so much goofy shit that happens, and of course, like it's trauma, it's Toxic Avenger. You wouldn't have it any other way. I was for an unrated movie, I was a little disappointed by the lack of gore, and there was a couple of practical, and then there's like CG stuff. And listen, it's the time, it's that time in our lives now that CG is just prevalent and everything. It's just when the CG kicks in, it really kicks in. I'd say I'm probably at a 3 out of 5 on it. It was okay. Like we all laughed and giggled at the movie. There was only one showing by me last night, and it was okay. Weirdly, there's like a final confrontation at the end that I just immediately started thinking of Wes Craven's Swamp Thing movie. Like it was just that, but on a lower budget, and like felt like community theater at times. And I say that in the most respectful way of like it's so goofy, and eventually you'll see it. There are two post credit scenes, one after the credit. Well, I guess it's a mid credit and post credit. Uh, if you don't stay for them, it's fine, especially the end one. The end one is kind of stupid. The mid one, if you love the dance scene from Napoleon Dynamite, go ahead and watch it. You'll love it. There is also a children's theater version of My Neck, My Back. So if them saying in Fist Fight, singing Big Sean's I Don't Fuck With You was your jam, this one, it'll be right up there with you. Especially they were all like preteens singing that song for their talent show. So, do I recommend watching it? I think so. Yeah, like if this is your jam, like you love dumb horror and comedy, and again, this mainly more towards comedy, and there is that like clumsiness of them trying to make it a dramedy at the beginning, and Peter Dinklage, it's just hearing the Toxic Avenger with his voice, and then hearing him say all these like crude lines. I think it really endeared me to it. But that's really all I got. This is just my quick thoughts on it. But do I think you should? Well, I'm kind of repeating myself. I think if it's your jam, go see it. Do I think it's gonna be in the theaters long? No, it'll be on streaming probably really fast. To be honest, they really oversold that unrated part. I think I have seen more gore in like regular R-rated movies, so I'm sure at some point there's going to be like a Blu-ray or some kind of release. It's probably going to end up with like 30 more bonkers minutes to it, but it was enough. Like again, like I had one of our work friends came with us who's that's not really his jam, and he like laughed the whole time, but like he had no idea what he was expecting. So that's all I got. I am off to work now, and thank you. And let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie if you go see it. Take care. Bye.